Hello and welcome. We are back with Space Engineers, and it's a brand new day. Sun's shining right over there. And as you can see, I went ahead and I finished putting in a few more of those towers. If we come on over here, you will also see that I also put in a set of lights near the end of the towers. Adjusted the color settings a little bit, but they show up a whole lot more in the dark than they do when the sun's out. So, now that we have solved the problems of power and feeding ourselves, the next question is what are we going to do about this base? So, my whole goal with my base design is that I want my buildings to serve a single purpose. I want my vehicles to serve a single purpose. So this building's purpose then is going to be the crew rest area, shelter. It's going to have my survival kit, and basically it's going to be where the crew can go ahead and um, recover after a long day's work. So I need to have some beds. I need to have some relaxation, a kitchen, even if all of this is not exactly actually relevant, especially since I am playing in single player. And then eventually I'm going to go ahead and move this refinery and this assembler into their own buildings. So, the very first thing that I need to do then is I need to go ahead and decide what I'm doing for these sides. Now, as you can see, I have a bit of a curve going on over here, a straight section over here, and then it's just kind of repeated. So it's basically a big oval. Now, taking a look at how the terrain goes, if I were to try and build off in this direction, the terrain slopes upwards, which means that I'm going to need to go ahead and move upwards or have ladders going from like the second floor of this to the first floor of that building. I don't really feel like dealing with that, so I'm going to go ahead and put some windows in here. Over here, looking at the Algae Tower, I'm going to put some more windows in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and have a door over here and over here. Now, one of these directions, I'm not 100% sure which, probably this one, will have a garage. So I'm going to go ahead and put a garage and then above it a landing pad for small reconnaissance vehicles. And then in the other direction is going to go ahead then and be my industrial section. But I don't need to decide that right now. What I need is a lot of steel plates. Now, what I have gone through is I have gone ahead. This outside section here is all steel plates with the concrete texture. I went ahead in this middle section and just pre-filled it in with Willis ducts. This means that I can go ahead and choose any of these base plates, pull it out, and put it in some vent fans. So that way I can go ahead and get what's called full ventilation inside, even if I do go ahead and choose to change how like put doors inside. So first things first, then let's go ahead and deal with these doggos. Where are you, doggo? Oh, there you are. Hello. I do not like you. Oh sure, run off. All right. And I'm not sure where I left the body, so we're going to pretend that that didn't happen. And I want to go ahead and get my favorite little green color for this. So I'm going to start with these window walls. It's going to be the left. And then the right. Alright, next up, I'm going to go ahead and get my borders fixed. There we go. Alright, and over here, I'm actually going to go ahead and change things up a little bit. So let me just go ahead and put my corners in here. And, well, I'm going to go ahead and have a doorway across basically these three sections. Right here, I'm actually going to go ahead and make a small change where rather than a door, I'm going to go ahead and, this shape that I've got right here, I'm going to go ahead and put some ribbing across the top just to add some texture. And to do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and delete this, and then I am going to hop up here just in case another doggy comes to ruin my day. And I want to go ahead and grab a black color. That doesn't appear to be making any difference. Alright. And then, and you can see here the Willis duct, which has a little bit of a gap right there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Doggo. Sometimes I wonder why I play with you on. Anyways. Of course, the most important reason for going ahead and putting walls up is that I can work inside without being attacked by surprise doggos. Alright. There we go. Alright. And then we are going to repeat that on this side. Alright, and you can start to see the shape forming a little bit. Alright. And let me go ahead and grab my green color. Oh, wrong button. And then once again, right here, I'm going to go ahead and put the other side of my ribs. So let me just go ahead and weld these pieces up really quick. All right. And here you can see what I mean with the Willis ducts. I have filled this entire bottom area with them, so that way I could go ahead and get ventilation basically anywhere that I would want. All right. Finding the right buttons, or not finding them, as the case may be. Alrighty. There we go, and now I need to cover the back of this. Alright, so that is going to be kind of the outer shell of my base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go ahead and get all the pieces to make my windows. There we go. Alright, so the next thing that I need to do now is I need to go ahead and put my doors in. So for this, let me find my doors. I have plenty of options for doors. Do like some sort of, and just kind of scrolling through all of the options here just to see if there's anything that really stands out. The big thing that you will notice as I'm cycling through these is that it varies from something like this lab door, which basically takes up a single side, this door, which you need to have it connected to kind of in the middle. This one is going to take up the whole block. Again, this one is going to take up the end, but or just the block, but it's going to take up one side. And then we get to something like these sliding hatch doors, which are going to take up multiple blocks. So I think I'm actually going to go with these sliding hatch doors. And what I want to do is I want to create a small little airlock. So I'm going to go ahead and place a pair of them here. Now, do note I am playing on Earth-like, which means that I do not actually need an airlock. This is more just so that way I can go ahead and ensure that even if it gets cold out, which if you look at the bottom of my screen, you can see the little yellow thing that says cold, that I can open the door and like if I have a greenhouse or a farm plot or something, I wouldn't lose any crops that are growing in there. Or I could go ahead and basically blueprint this design and use the exact same design on another location that doesn't have a breathable atmosphere. Alright, so doors in place. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my fans. So let's see if I have fans on one of my hotbars already. And looks like the answer to that is no, so let's go ahead and grab the air vents. Alright, so with the air vents, I have a half block here or a full block here. The half block does have a connection point on the back, but the full block has a connection point on each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this vent fan, and I'm going to go ahead and place that right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this particular vent fan and place that pointing outwards. So this one is going to basically be how I draw air in from the outside. This then will go ahead and vent out this little section right here. And then for the inside, I'm going to go ahead and take this air vent and place that right there. So if I was running on a planet without the breathable atmosphere, I basically drop this air vent fan, and then I would need to hook up an H2O2 generator somewhere to go ahead and get the air that I need. Alright, so enough talking about that. Let's go ahead and put the second set of fans in over here. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Alright, so now I need to get all the pieces to build all these things. And come out here. Alright. And if I build this vent fan first, then I will go ahead and be able to come on over here and use this cargo vent again. Alright. And there we go. I now have doors that close. And as soon as I finish building this one, I can close this door, and no longer will a puppy dog come up and scare the bejesus out of me. Alrighty. So, now that I've got that all in place, I need something that's going to go ahead and fill in this little block right here. Or otherwise be able to go ahead and make it so that way I do have that airlock. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go for the armory. Um, and let me see if I can find it in here a little bit easier. Weapon rack, here we go. Alright, so I need interior plates. I am fresh out of interior plates. So let's come on down here. Alright. So as long as I put something in over here, I can go ahead and close that off. So I've got the weapon rack, the full armory, armory lockers, lockers, and that doesn't close it off. Alright, so if I put the armory in,
Energy low.
now let's do the armory lockers. Alright, put that in both spots. And recharge my energy. Alright. Alright. So, now that I've got that, the next thing that I need to do is I need to get a roof on. So, let's get cracking on that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is where these black bars come up, I'm going to go ahead and use some full-size blocks and basically just pull that all the way across. Alright, so I've got that there, and now to do the same thing here. There we go. And the important thing that this is going to be doing is this is both providing a different color, and I'm going to be using half-height blocks for the rest of the ceiling. So it's also going to provide a variation in the texture as well. So let me go ahead and step. Ah, hello, puppy. Are there more of you? There probably are. No, I want to be up here. Alright. So, now that I am on top of this, the next thing that I want to do is I want to use the half-height blocks to cover the rest of this. So, for that, I want to first grab my color, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab a few different variations on shape. There we go. And nope, I don't want that one there. Alright. That also means I don't want that one there. Alright. So let's go ahead and just weld that up. And nope, don't want that one. Alright. So now, let me come in here. There we go. Alright. And then grab these pieces. and you can see what the shape I'm going for is. Let's go ahead and finish welding this little section up. Alright, and then over here, go ahead and put those three on, and then this one is going to go on this side. Alright, there we go. So you can see I have kind of this rounded shape over here. Close the door. And now this whole little section here is covered. And if I close this door here, you'll see that this is now vented, so even if it is freezing cold outside, this area here has climate control, and also if I was building this on another planet, full O2. Alright, so now I'm going to come on over here and repeat that all over here. But rather than going ahead and basically having this whole section here be kind of dark, I am going to go ahead and stick a skylight in the middle. So let's come on over here, weld all of this up. Alright, and now find my light, or my windows I should say. Alright, so I'm going to have to go ahead and put it in this way. Alright. And then I can weld that up from the bottom. Alright, now I'm going to come on over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish putting in all of that bits on this side. There we go. Alright, there we go. That is all the pieces. And now we just need to finish welding up. if I zoom back a little bit, you can see kind of what it looks like. There we go. And you can see we've got air pressure here. Come here, we do not have air pressure now. And that's just because we haven't finished this section here. Alright. Alright, and now we have air pressure. So the inside is dark, but we have fully functional airlocks, pair of them. And if we wanted to go ahead and put, like, say, a little bedroom over here or something like that, we could even have a door and still manage to get the ventilation in without needing to add more air pipes because we have these Willis ducts on the floor. Though we do need to be careful because if I were to go ahead and put in like a Willis vent right here, then these airlocks are then kind of useless because air could flow from here all the way over here. But as long as we don't do that, then we'll be good. All right. So with that, that is basically creating the shell for this. And I will go ahead and worry about decorating the interior in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.